it's gonna be awkward.
I don't get it. You do the math.
2, 1. Boom! What up? What up? What up? What up?
Save
What up?
the
What
date
up?
for episode 8.
Here we are, episode 8.
Or
and
bring a
it's-
date. It's episode 8 because we always want new listeners. So
and it's great.
it is great.
It's
it is
great to
It's a
be
great,
here for
great
episode
time to be
8.
here. New year, new us. A
Yeah,
lot of changes.
obviously. I'm Z,
I'm Jay now.
and that's different.
And that,
You know.
you know what? And we're actually the first to do it. We are the first.
We're actually not different. We haven't changed who we are.
I just identify as Justin now, and he just identifies as me. So
we
it's
just
really
swapped.
complicated.
We literally just swapped names is all.
You ever seen the switch up?
It's less like that. I go by Z now. I'm still me.
Oh, see, I'm different. I got all kinds of personalities.
Who'd you
jumping out.
get?
Well, you know, on Snapchat, how they have, or it's Instagram actually, how they have that thing to where it tells you what Disney character you are, what Pokemon you are, whatever the hell that you see the people doing the stories. It's the cards.
I haven't seen this.
They're doing their face and they're
No,
putting
but
it
I
on
saw
camera.
that dude with a sign say no one cares which Pokemon
Exactly, dude. That's
But
what's happening. So it's
you are.
like,
I don't know what that's from. Is that
Oh,
on Instagram?
yeah. So it's one of those Instagram filters, and you
Mm.
just put it over your face, and it just goes like, and you know, it does like a wheel of different characters or whatever.
Yeah?
Gives you one.
Okay.
So you show it to different people. So what that did for me is
Who'd you get?
Bruce Willis, man.
What?
Yeah.
For Pokemon?
No,
For a Disney
like
character?
no, in real life, because you asked what person I got, and I said it's like that Instagram thing that's going around.
Oh, the roulette.
I got Bruce Willis. Yeah,
That's
who
who you are
inside. Yeah, but I identify as you, so I'm going by Justin, but I'm actually Bruce Willis inside.
Okay. And
That makes sense.
I'm still Justin inside. I just go by Z now.
Yeah, which is cool.
All right.
Best you
Well,
can get.
we're kicking episode 8 off, confusing and awkward,
It's the point.
which is
That's the brand.
It's the brand.
It's half the
We're
brand. You got
consistent.
socially, which is one half, and then awkward is the other half. So
But here we are, dude. New year, and we're off to kind of a crazy start. Wouldn't you say?
yeah, I would say so, man. It's been pretty wild. It's been kind of nice though, because I feel this is like one of the first years or New Year's in a long time that I actually feel caught up for and ready. I wouldn't shut up about what I was doing to prep for the new year, but I feel fucking good. So that's good. As
Well,
I've been
yeah,
feeling fresh into the new year, and I haven't felt that in a while.
On a personal note, yeah, but I mean, like, there's some shit going on in the world right now.
Oh yeah, there is, dude. I was at my buddy's house
Mhm.
the other night, and all of a sudden I look on the news and you see fucking Baghdad was storming, someone was storming the spot in Baghdad, the U.S. territory in Baghdad. I'm not
Embassy?
saying this right. The embassy, yeah. And because I was briefly looking at it, I'm like, oh fuck. And then all of a sudden I'm sitting there for a while, and I'm sitting there looking at the TV, and then I'm like, oh shit. And then all of a sudden you hear the news about the actual killing of the Iran leader, and then now all of a sudden here we are, man, and more shit's going on.
Well, yeah, I mean, just all the memes that have broken out over it, you know.
All the memes, and then the people.
Like, you don't have
on
to
the-
get all specific with the details of what's going on, because it's so like rapidly happening, and there's a lot of specifics that
There are a
like
lot of specifics.
you know but what I saw today was that there were about a dozen ballistic missiles that went and hit US bases in Iraq.
See, that's not good.
And then also I saw a video today, dude, which was a terrifying 52 stealth bombers, just one after another, zipping off.
It'd be cool if they were B-52s, just because there's those big ass things, dude.
How
Up
crazy
in the sky.
how crazy would this be if it were like in a movie scene with the soundtrack set up, and you've just got
Yes.
52 stealth bombers zipping out, and like the song when they're leaving is "Shoot to Thrill" by AC/DC's. You just got "Shoot to Thrill."
Yep.
And then when they're commuting, dude, the whole way, it's "Fortunate Son" by CCR.
Has to be.
And it ain't me. It ain't me. And then as they're landing, the only appropriate song is obviously "Immigrant Song."
Yeah.
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 And then, you know, there's some other soundtracks that we could probably layer on.
I got a
top of
few
that.
ideas, but
I'm sure "All Along the Watchtower" could make it into
Well, you
one
gotta
of the
have-
scenes.
I want "Can't Take My Eyes Off You" in the fight scene by Frankie Valli.
Okay, I like that.
Because it's very Tarantino, and it would just be, you know, America and they're whooping ass. And,
That's
you know,
that's in that final scene when it's just that a lot of slow mo,
speaking.
a lot of terrorists getting fucking
Yeah.
a lot of blood.
Yeah, a lot of that. Yeah, dude. Well, where I'm at with all of it, dude, is because there's the two sides of it. That people sharing a shit ton of memes, and then there's the people that are like anti the meme, like it's nothing to joke about, and which I get. And then there's like, you know, you see some memes, you're like, all right, that's actually kind of funny. But like, I'm feeling it, dude. I'm feeling it for the country. I feel like the country's.
You know what it feels like to me, dude?
It's scary, but like, what else are we gonna do?
Yeah, that's the thing, dude. It feels a little bit like we're all a little bit aggroed up as a country right now. No matter which side you're on, whether you're Democrat, Republican, whatever, everyone's a little fucking fired
Because
up.
I'm at the point now, and I've been at this point, but I'm speaking for more other people. I could see other people starting to look around and go, you know what, dude? Fuck all this. This is where we're at, dude. We need to saddle up.
Well, I'm saying if it comes down to it, and "Fortunate Son" is because I keep hearing it for whatever reason on the radio, and it's just that song that makes you want to go out and fight for your country.
Yeah.
You know, and it's it's a weird time, but if they want the smoke, dude, and they're gonna get the smoke. Those 52 stealth bombers did not seem like they were fucking around.
Yeah, they don't play. They don't play at all.
And I wouldn't be testing Trump either, dude. Like I don't think he plays either.
Well, no, he's proven to not. He's definitely taken the act hard, act quick mentality. Hit you
Right.
before you hit me kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which, you know, I would prefer
When you're dealing with fucking bombs and
and
shit,
yeah, like another country, like
war and guns,
terrorizing us on home turf. That would
yeah,
be,
I'd rather take it to them before we get fucked up again.
now where that escalates to, I have
Whether
no
that was an
fucking
inside
clue.
job or not, I mean that's a
Yeah,
different
I don't
story.
know. I don't know where, you know, what the downfall of that is, and that's a whole nother topic that way more smarter people than I know for sure me are having. So I'm gonna probably sit this round out, but I was listening to I just saw it last night. I clicked on it. I was about to go to bed, and then I'd seen something come up on my YouTube algorithm, and it's Theo's podcast, Theo Vaughn, this past weekend. If you haven't heard it, it's actually pretty good. Check it out. Theo had on that chick, man, fucking that super conservative chick that's super not positive, super popular for a while. Tommy
Tommy
Lauren or Laren?
Tommy Lahren.
Tommy Laren. So
I thought
she was a guest.
wasn't she? Didn't she get like banned from conservative world though?
She got fired. She
Yeah.
got fired because
Some
this is
racist
her
shit.
story. Because I tuned in for a second because I was
Okay.
curious. Because I was like, "What the hell happened to that girl?" Because the last I saw, she was getting chewed out by Cardi B and like Offset on Twitter.
Oh
and, like,
yeah,
all
dude.
yeah, dude.
Yes.
I was like, dude, damn, Theo's got some balls having her on. Where is she? What is she doing? And I listened. So apparently what happened is she was very pro-Trump. The conservative network she was working for wasn't for Trump during the election. So when Trump won, he kind of looked like an asshole
Right.
to her. So that's her side of the story. So I don't know what all went into that. But you know who she reminds me of a
Who?
lot?
Who?
The Colby Covington of whatever. And for those that don't know Colby Covington, he's a UFC fighter. He's recently become popular because he's put on a whole gimmick. This whole gimmick, he's come out and said isn't fully real, but
It's
he's
that wrestling.
yeah, he's taken what he's got and he's run with it. It started with him almost getting cut from the UFC, and then he started bashing on Brazil because he's fighting a Brazilian, and he took the old Chael Sonnen route, who's fighting Anderson Silva. If you don't know that, then just skip this ahead. But yeah, so anyways, he comes out and became friends with Donald Trump and Don Jr. and the other one, Eric, and started having the book around, wearing the MAGA hat and the cheap suits, everything, dude. Went full 100%, like full tilt, and then started hiring girls with him all over the place. So it's like, it reminds me a lot of that, to where it's almost like you're just taking something, but like really, really running with it, and then you just get caught up in some shit, man.
Well, that was kind of the thing that like made me be like just separate a little bit politically, you know, from the whole idea of it, because
yeah,
of the fanatical, you know, ideas one way or the other, whether it's pro or against a dude. Like, this is no different than being a fan of a team.
That's
is what
my, exactly
is how
my
it's
thing.
it's how it's set up in this country, and we root for these parties as if they're our favorite team, and the candidate that wins is our favorite player.
Yeah,
And
thank God that guy got player of the game. You know,
and
like,
you know, yeah, and I just don't subscribe as much to the Monday Night Football way of politics, and so it just makes it. I get turned off by it. You know what I mean?
yeah, me too, for sure.
Like
to
I just don't want to hear the drama and stuff like that, because there's so many people who, if it were warmer, would probably do body paint in their political party at this point.
and that's the problem too, is like the world has shown so much that there is so much variable that there's no one way that can work. So you can't take any one party's belief and say that's the right way to do it at this correct time. There might be parties that are better for certain periods of times in the world, and there might be most of the time, I feel like if collectively those two ideas were brought together, not in the same way that maybe a libertarian party is, but in a just more collaborative manner, to where it's not about I beat you, we win, we're who run shit.
Well, I think
We run
also
smart tech.
there's a thing of action too, like when Trump is he's whooping ass, dude. He's gearing up to whoop some ass. That's something that people can get behind and fuck with. But
Yeah.
when you're just being mean to people and you're bullying people on the internet,
Yeah.
then it's hard to fuck with you, because like we spend a lot of time as a society telling kids and people that those are haters, those are stupid or ignorant people that sit on the internet with their Cheeto fingers and talk shit all
Yeah.
day.
And then 80% of us, I would say, of the population get it too.
Yeah, but then we turn around and fucking put on that jersey with the elephant or the donkey and ride it into, and it's not just Trump, dude. It's fucking everybody. It's
been ever since I've been alive. So
yeah, well, it's really just been since the internet has been such a thing, but I'm sure politics has always been a nightmare. You know, it's just one of those things that
in
like
every country too.
it's just viewed like it's a fucking sport.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but these things that like where you send over the planes and you do stuff that's different, you make a difference compared to other people who, when faced with the same situation, a lot of people on our side fucking died and nothing else happened. The other thing too is there's a lot of governmental things that go on behind the scenes that the general public doesn't know about. and
sure.
we have no idea all of the things that have been going on between the relationships of the U.S. and Iran and the whole Middle East, for that matter,
Yeah.
since the fucking 90s. There's
Yeah,
no.
that's been going on for.
This has been going on for way longer than what we can account for on these sound bites that we get
Right.
every 4
you
years
have
in
the
an
argument,
election.
though. You will like, and every I think president runs into this, and this is where I think I have a huge problem with media. Is the thing I had seen on TV, is I don't remember a channel. I think it was maybe CNN, but they were talking about the bomb or the airstrike, and they were like, the first thing Trump said
The
is that he
airstrike or
wanted-
the drone strike?
whatever one killed the Iranian leader.
Drone strike.
Drone strike.
Yeah,
Okay.
It wasn't air. It was just an airport.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I didn't,
Fucking AI, little guy comes over, bops him in the head,
Gotcha.
takes out a couple other ones, flies out.
Gotcha.
No one gets fucked up. It's not a
Gotcha.
whole ordeal.
Gotcha. Well, anyways, that happened, and the guy, the reporter on CNN was like, the first thing Trump said to get into office is that he wanted to pull people out of, or he wanted to pull troops out of the Middle East, and here we are now having to probably send in more troops. The problem is with that is when you make that statement in, say, 2016 or whenever it was, so much changes so quickly that if all of a sudden now you're threatening us, sure, yeah, the goal is to bring them out and
But the
take them out. But if you fuck up our people,
The other problem is this, Z, is like what do the soldiers want to be doing? Because if you ask any veteran who just got out and they were in between 2012 and 2016, they were fucking itching to go over there and whoop some ass. But they were forced to be here. And now with all this shit breaking out, they're like, I've been seeing a lot of memes and stuff from soldiers and people who fight for the conch, and they're like talking about how envious they are of people who are serving now and get to go over there, if they get to go over there and whoop ass because they didn't get to. So it's one of those things, like the situation, obviously war is not ideal. And obviously, we want people to be as safe as they can, and we don't want ribbons on the doors, right?
yeah,
And that's why we keep waiting for the world to change. But,
keep on waiting.
but yeah, that's the thing we don't know. Like, if they have a reason to be over there and they want to be over there, then I don't want to take that away from them.
Yeah, that's true.
That goes into like hockey, like in the sport of hockey, dude, with enforcing and fighting and all of that. Like, if the fighters want to fight and they think that that's helping their team win or their country win by enforcing a code,
well, like
fucking let it go.
Even a lot of times too, just in everyday life too. I think a lot of times people just like do things that they genuinely think is helping their life and their situation, and you can't necessarily take that away from someone that like their thing is maybe you're a carpenter or something, and that's your thing, or a plumber or something, like a trade, for instance. That's just your job. It's just what you do, you plumb, you carpent,
Work with wood.
you woodwork. Well, it's carpentry. That's what you do. It's just that's your shit. That's all you. That's how you're programmed.
You're saying some people fight? Is that what you're saying?
Well, yeah, because you're saying that like that's what they do. That's what they want to be doing.
Well,
And the same thing,
I'm
like,
just
with a-
saying situationally, like they could have reasons that we don't know
Oh,
about.
yeah.
Like there could be there are a lot of times where I'm sure people in military have more information about what's going on in other
yeah,
countries than we
definitely.
fucking do.
Definitely
Because all we're
classified
getting
information.
that, but like even just fucking in general, because all we're getting is the second and third hand information
Yeah, just from
from
whatever the media is putting
whatever
out.
main media source we're getting. versus those guys are actually, guys and gals are actually over there on the ground, seeing what's going on or hearing about what's going on from their brothers and sisters in arms. And, you know, there could be a whole lot of reasoning for them wanting to be over there other than them just being full of piss and vinegar and wanting to beat ass.
Definitely.
You know, that's where like I can't say that like getting people out of somewhere is the right move because I don't fucking know. I'm not over there.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like we don't have the answers as to what's right or wrong. It's not up to us, anyways. Like to the people, it's the commanders and the people, I guess, doing it, and the ones going over there. But
yeah, obviously war is not ideal.
But definitely a huge shout out to the people fighting and to the ones that did lose their lives in the process and and their families. You know, shout out or prayers to them, and just shout out to the ones fighting. You know, and the ones that are out there doing the shit. So,
yeah,
I want to say that.
Word up to them. Shout out.
I mean, what else do you want me to say?
Oh, dude.
I'm just trying to keep us moving. We've been talking about this for 20.
We haven't been talking about this for 20. It's a big fucking deal, dude.
I know, but I'm just saying.
Talking about potentially World War III.
I'm not complaining about the time. I'm just saying 20 minutes is a good mark to slip and slide on over to another season.
Another season?
Another season of the year. Just, you know, a new time, a new convo.
All right, dude. What do you want to talk about?
Well, I mean, we can continue to talk about this if you got nothing, but
I mean, we're at this point past it.
Yeah, I really don't know, man. It is definitely some crazy times right now, but I don't have shit else to talk about with you because you threw me off my game, man. When you get all flustered like that.
I didn't get flustered.
Flustered, man.
I just didn't know which
Well,
group you're
here's my
shouting at. Like
issue.
which fallen soldiers are you shouting out?
Well, the ones that died.
I know, but
I don't know specifically their names that died. The ones that died from this incident that we just got, they just attacked our.
Oh, I thought you were fucking
they
trying
just had
to cover from the 90s in Iran to
No.
like all the Desert Storm shit.
If I was doing that, dude, Revolutionary War, dude, I don't know. I mean, that we could do that, but we just had an incident happen, so I was just.
I don't know if anybody
saying
died
prayers
in
go.
that, dude. They just attacked.
Oh, well, I assume if they have an airstrike go towards it, people are dying.
It's just ballistic missiles.
Ballistic missiles. All right, dude. I don't know my fucking weapons.
Play Call of Duty, dude.
I do, and I rip. Okay. So, watch your step.
If you had kill streaks, you'd know the
You
difference
don't always.
between an
That's not the only
airstrike.
way to be
a
good.
drone
COD is kill
strike.
streaks. I know that, but I don't know exactly what they all do, and I don't know what they do in real life, man. So, okay,
All right,
can't
well,
respawn in real life.
True. All right, let's.
So I don't know that effect.
Let's camera break up, and
We
then
camera break now?
we'll reconvene. Yeah, we've.
I do want to mention this while we have the time, just so we don't have to waste the time on the next camera run because we have a lot to get into. But for those that don't follow us on Instagram at SocialAwkwardPod or at Weber Boys Entertainment, if you don't follow either of those pages, we recently announced that we are doing listener topics again. For those that have been fans of the show, listeners of the show, from the beginning, we did listener topics and questions that you send in via email, DM, any way you want. You know, you can write a letter. However,
carrier pigeons are fine. if
carrier
they can
pigeons.
get
We
to
got a
us.
spot on the website even for it. So any way you want. So send those in by, you know, when we have the thing, and you know when we drop these. So send them in. We'll get to them. All right.
Should they send them in?
You should send them in.
Okay.
Because we're doing them, and then we have some for today. So I just wanted to preface all that so we didn't have to do this on the next camera break, because I would imagine we're going to get into something else, and then also all these listener topics, and that's going to take up probably that 30-minute time slot that we get with these cameras. So,
All right, we're back.
Zynga.
All right. So yeah, some other news in the world.
The
Some
Oscars.
awards. I don't think it was Oscars.
Or no, Golden Globe.
Golden Globes.
Golden Globe.
Yeah, Golden Globes happened. I heard we didn't watch it live. Obviously, we know who fucking won what. We saw Instagram.
Yeah.
Obviously, we heard of Ricky Gervais's monologue. Obviously, we watched it.
Yes.
Obviously, it was brilliant, dude. The timing was brilliant.
Yeah, well played.
The whole thing was perfect. What a way to go out. And I'm sure that it did wonders for viewership.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Well, that thing's getting shared around, dude, like crazy.
well, how much do you want to bet they're going to ask him to come back or put him on something else?
Yeah.
I mean, those are big shoes to fill because it was pretty well received aside from like
Well, and he's always been good at that.
Tom
hosting.
Hanks's face. Yeah, well, he's a ruthless guy, dude.
Yeah, he
he's a
is.
funny, ruthless guy.
Yeah, he gets in there with jokes.
Some of them British guys just don't
yeah, I was
hold
just gonna
back.
No.
But yeah,
I mean,
he,
they say the C word like it's nothing, dude.
I know it stings my ears,
Yeah,
and they're
dude.
just whipping them out
See you next Tuesday, left and right.
like it's nothing. Yeah, but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood did well. I think they won
It
best.
did. It was weird that they
comedy,
won comedy or
musical.
musical, but it is a funny ass movie.
It's a funny movie, and there's good music in it.
Yeah, we were talking about this morning that it was actually probably the movie I laughed the most in
Out
in
of all,
2019. But there's no I was reading an article, speaking of winners too, the Joker.
just Joker sounds cooler. Drop the.
Joaquin Phoenix best actor, male actor performance.
Yeah, he did good.
Did phenomenal.
Did good.
Did unreal. And I was reading something about Todd Phillips though, and he was like, I'm just done making comedy movies because you just can't try making someone laugh and see what happens.
Well, what's crazy is like you see Todd Phillips go from directing The Hangovers to movies like Due Date, right? He was behind. And
Need Road Trip.
Road Trip, yeah, I mean that's further back, but like
No, but that's to show from where
yeah, dude.
old
Well,
school.
Yeah. Yeah, there are different eras.
He's my
Like that
favorite
first
director, for sure.
first era for him in his career where there was that old school style humor where you could get away with anything.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we're
early
going
2000s, late
streaking.
90s.
We're going streaking through the quad. Everyone's following me. No, they're not. You know what I'm saying? Snoop-a-loop. Let's go.
Yep.
Then you've got the Hangover era of comedy. And the Hangover trilogy really set the tone for that era, I feel like, of comedy movies.
Definitely brought in more of that, almost the definitely more of a film vibe.
It separated the Step Brothers and Talladega Nights era
Yeah.
from the Hangover era, which I would say that Talladega Nights and Step Brothers era goes probably in between that Hangover old school.
Where you couldn't get away with as much, but it was still funny, but it felt a little lower budget versus I feel like with the Hangovers
Yeah.
and Due Date, it felt so theatrical and it felt so
Big budget.
big budget, and the storyline seemed more dense than say like an old school to where, or like even Road Trip to where it's like a love scene, although that's a good storyline too, like
Both of those did. Like I
the
think
sex
over
tape with the girl.
what's interesting is over time it's gone like that production value has stayed and that quality of shooting has stayed, but the quality of storytelling and writing has suffered.
yeah.
And that's not necessarily the writer's fault. You know, there's a lot of collaboration that goes into making a movie, and there's even more than that too when you factor in the politically correctness of today's world. And when you're just trying to make people laugh, it's very
Very difficult.
very trying. I would much rather be a stand-up comedian than a comedy movie director. If I were in that position of wanting to make people laugh.
Yeah, it'd probably be easier. I don't know, man. It sucks because like I've always
I wouldn't know where
thought
to
it'd be
start.
cool to make a comedy.
I wouldn't know where to start making a comedy movie. Because think about this, dude. What's our favorite comedy movies? And like, I would say that mine are probably the Adam Sandlers. You
Those are
know,
great.
like the Happy Gilmores, the Billy Madisons. You look at Billy Madison, dude, and you cannot make that movie right now. There's no way that movie would fly. And like
True.
he actually hit those kids with the dodgeballs. You know what I mean? Could you imagine that? Like Chris Hemsworth just
Yeah, but that's not.
darting a kid.
But like, you don't necessarily need to have that. Like, that's not the funniest part of the movie, you know.
No, I'm just saying, but like it's the whole concept of him having to go and be in
I
like
think it's
these
gonna make a comeback. I
grade
hope.
schools. I would like for it to, but I just don't know that like it's there right now.
It's not. I think it is gonna take some writers. I think it's gonna take some fresh ideas and some new writers. Like, I'm bummed to see that there's not younger, and maybe there are. I just don't know. But it just doesn't seem like there's a lot of like guys just in their late 20s, mid 20s that are comedy writing for.
Yeah, I think the ones that are writing and that are in that
It's stand-up.
age,
Stand-up's the hotbed right now.
well, they're in like just super artsy, dramatic stuff that no one understands and no one
Like that
sees
film
or
that,
gives a shit
that
about.
the new Batman, Robert Pattinson.
Lighthouse.
Lighthouse.
I don't know. That
Looks really good.
That looks pretty good. But yeah, dude. I don't know. The movie industry is a strange one, and I don't hate it as much as that everyone does. I feel like everyone's got issues.
Yeah, I don't
so
have
many
any issue
issues
with
with it. But I just
doing their thing, you know.
yeah.
They're artists.
I think there's a culture issue that we're having that other generations didn't have, because a lot of time was spent with reading and like digesting stories from other people,
Right.
versus we live in a world where there's a lot of creators
Yeah.
of stories and content and whatever. So it makes it tough because, you know, like it's the same way with our economy where we have more merchants than consumers essentially,
Right.
or we're getting to that point. It's the same thing with content and creation
Definitely.
and consumption and all of that. So that's where there's those differences, I think.
I would agree. I mean, there's definitely the ratios are definitely off for how it seems it's supposed to be, but I think a lot of that too is we're still just trying to adapt, and like so much of how we're living and what we're doing is so unnatural, is how we're designed to be as humans, that like we're just all winging it anyways and trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
it
but
seems
like in doing that though, we're not able to like really enjoy the different cultures or the like literatures. I hate that word, but like
smart word.
yeah, but like literature is such an important thing in culture.
You're wise.
And when you don't have people consuming that literature or content, if you will, in 2020 words, then that culture isn't continuing on. And then like you forget how to be funny as a society.
Well, I find it myself too, is the thing is things don't necessarily go bad is the thing. Like we can go watch Happy Gilmore. It hasn't gone bad.
Right.
Still hilarious. So
The only ones that go bad, dude, are when people go and fuck their life up, or we find out after the fact that they were doing some bad shit then.
or they try to be too, and it drives me nuts, especially with like modern comedies, is like for the modern comedies that I have seen, is they try so hard to make the modern style of living so relatable, because that's how they think we all connect now, is like technical difficulties and not having Wi-Fi and fucking my cell phone and my Snapchat and my Twitter and this and
Right.
bringing up those things
Emojis.
that are like, this is a trend.
Yeah.
We had flip phones 5 years ago.
And it wasn't such a big deal. Like, people
No.
didn't think life revolved around
Like, I'm never
it.
getting rid of this. And we're like, could you believe how many freaking, I'm just touching shit with my finger. And it's happening. I can
Yeah.
talk to the thing. And, you know, so it's, when
Well,
they
that's a
emphasize
safe
so-
spot, though.
I know. And that's the problem, is that people are not.
Gravitating towards that, you're saying?
Yeah.
And they
it
feel like
could
it's
be 'cause they're
okay to
afraid.
be...
It could be because they're afraid to say certain things, that, like what Todd Phillips is saying. Like, you can't say anything without, you know, hurting feelings and stuff like that, which is true. But I think that there's definitely an art to being funny without hurting feelings. It's possible. I've definitely seen comedians, not anyone that I can necessarily think of.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
But yeah, he doesn't really out anybody. He doesn't out a specific group. He might, well, sometimes, because he can say certain things that could piss people off. Like, because he's got the one bit about you can find anything online, and, you know, you can do any kind of weird shit that you used to not be able to do, but now you can get away with it. But it's
Oh,
almost
yeah.
positive. It's like, there's a way, it's like talking shit to someone without making them feel like shit. But it's like you're talking shit, but also uplifting them in the same way,
Yeah.
to where you're not devaluing them. You're making fun of something that's almost a positive thing about
Right.
themselves. Don't bring out all the negative shit all the time, to where, you know, because
Just don't miss an opportunity to be funny, whether it's negative or positive. And that's the thing, is like,
if you're talking to 10 people and you have to pick one person to make fun of, would you rather all 10 people in the room to be laughing, or 9 of them? So figure out that way, that little sweet spot. I don't have it figured out. Definitely don't. But I'm not a comedian or writing stand-up or writing comedy movies. But
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I don't know, man. But what I do know is that I wish Once Upon a Time in Hollywood would have cleaned the house and won everything, because it's taken over as my favorite movie.
I would say mine too. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, what I was gonna say though about actor, like, who go on and do like crazy shit. You look at a guy like John Travolta, by way of example.
Definitely some crazy shit.
He hasn't like come out and, you know, killed anybody or punched anyone in a bar.
Huh, I thought you were going somewhere else.
What?
I thought you were going somewhere else.
Oh no.
'Cause there's some rumors. about
Yeah,
not
no,
coming out.
I don't care about that, dude. But he's had some issues when it comes to just having a normal life, obviously. But Pulp Fiction is still one of my favorite movies.
Yeah,
You know, like, Grease is still a great movie. Like, his how he is
yeah, he had some
now
other shit going on too.
doesn't. Yeah, he was real big in the Scientology, I think. And
I
that
think he had
is
something else too. Like, he had some sort of I don't remember what it was.
hair
but-
plugs.
No, what? No, like, I feel like it was something like there's like a bad rumor going around, like something like bad.
What did it have to do with Scientology?
I don't fucking remember, dude.
Probably.
I just remember hearing
Scientology's a
it
weird
somewhere.
gig, man, because you know what I heard is that they control a hefty.
I've seen one of their buildings. They're scary as shit looking.
Really?
There's one in Denver. It was like a Scientology building. I was with Moach. We were driving around. Like, the fuck is that, dude? Some demonic place. Like, oh yeah, dude, that's where they do Scientology meetups.
It's a terrifying organization, and like, the guy who started it is a science fiction author, and it's
Seriously.
yeah, it's a very, very strange.
Believe in your own hype, man.
Yeah, I'll say, but like, to get the magnitude of the type of people he's getting was pretty crazy as far as celebrities go. But anyways, I was watching this thing, and evidently they have got a big stranglehold on Hollywood in general,
Mm.
and that's uncomfortable.
That is, well, Tom Cruise, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's Mission Impossible and everyone.
No kidding. Speaking of all that, let's get into those listener topics, because we actually have a few, and I want to give us enough time to get into them.
Yeah, let's do that.
And we will see how they go. Do you mind putting on a timer real quick, though, just so you know, since I can't have both up?
Sure.
Do a timer for 10 minutes. Or do 13.
13.
13,
Okay. Go.
yeah. All right. So, let's see what we got here. This first one we got. All right. So this first one is, if you had to eat your dog, what would you eat first? And that was the one I was concerned with the question, but phew, that's a loaded question. Probably the legs.
I would eat my dog.
No? If you had to.
Don't care.
Okay. Ooh, this is a good one. If you had to fight a wolf with just a small knife, would you win? I think I would.
I would too.
A small wolf, because the thing is too.
No, small knife.
No, yeah, no, small. Oh, okay, yeah, small knife against normal size wolf probably. I like my odds
Yeah, I'd be fine.
because you guard up with one arm. Even if he chomps on that thing,
You can have the fucking arm, dude.
I don't want to
He's
give him my
not-
arm, but I'm gonna get him quick enough.
Yeah, I'm saying, but like I'm gonna give up my arm and kill him
I'm gonna
before
use
he.
it. Yeah, my right arm is bait because I'm left-handed, so then I'm gonna pull out and
I'm opposite, so
Yeah.
I'm giving him the left, and I'm.
because you see that on other dogs how they just chomp on arms. They like to bite on arms. It seems like.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, dogs are big into the arm biting, dude.
Yeah, they
what
are.
I've seen in videos. What else do we have?
All right. So let's see here. Next one we've got. Wait. Would you rather get away with lying every time or always know that someone is lying? Ooh.
Always know when someone's lying.
No, always know someone's lying. I think I would have to agree because I don't like the feeling of lying, and I personally don't ever lie.
I just
And
don't.
I don't see a benefit in it. It's not productive.
It's not, dude. And we've talked about it on here, dude. I just don't. I really don't love. I don't fuck with people that lie because it throws off the balance of order. And I'm all about like continuing on with progression and like getting better, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. Because
Like
you can't do that by lying.
It's very unproductive to lie.
Fuck.
Would
These are
you-
some good ones.
Would you rather speak all languages or be able to speak to all animals?
I would rather be able to speak all languages.
Animals.
For you?
Yeah.
I think animals would be cool. It'd be cool to speak to animals.
Because I can learn.
But
I can learn.
is,
I can learn all languages.
No, you can't.
I'm physically capable of learning any
Human
language.
brain is not physically capable, though, of being able to speak all languages. So
No,
that's
but I don't have a desire to speak all languages.
But in terms of benefit overall, I would say that being able to speak all languages is more beneficial because you don't get as like you can't get anything from an animal, and you can't get any information. Like if I need something from someone or a friend, and I can speak other languages, make other people feel comfortable. All right, I can talk to my dog, dude. I'll talk to my dog, who is your fucking dog. So,
Okay, how about
But then
the 500-year-old tortoise? You don't have questions for him?
I guess, but like, I mean,
You don't want
how
to
much
know?
has he seen? Because he's been just in a
Wha-
certain area. We don't know for
That's-
sure, but he's just
Dude,
been in one.
that's
That's
even
interesting. That's interesting thought. But you know what, man? Fuck, I don't know.
You know what I mean? Like, dude, if I give a shit about learning 5 languages and I really had the time to allocate and I get on.
I get if you really wanted to speak other languages, you would. And this is weird coming from guys. I can't even speak one fucking language. I speak Z. So
I'd do animals, dude, because you could learn a lot from animals.
for sure, like, hey, here's how you talk to a shark. Hey, man, you want to know how to really sneak up on your prey? This is what we do down here underwater. So check
Dude,
this out.
You got a mixed up idea of what goes on.
What else?
next?
Don't bite me, dude. Oh no, don't worry, I won't.
How about the
Just
fact
passing
that
by.
every bird is related to dinosaurs?
How about I hate birds, dude? They freak me out as it is,
Okay, well, what if you could get to know them?
dude. You can, dude, if you watch certain Disney movies.
You're gonna discriminate against a bird
I can discriminate
because you're
against birds.
afraid of them?
Don't make it sound like that.
Well, that's what it is. If you have an opportunity to talk to them, get to know them, maybe understand their situation, figure out why they attacked you that day when we were taking family photos, figure
I don't know,
out
man.
why they accidentally shit on people sometimes.
But like, if I'm in a hostile situation, say overseas, like the thing is, if you speak any language, you can travel anywhere
do you know
and get away
how
with
many
anything.
you know
dude.
how many translators there are already, including fucking Google?
I get that. It's not the same though. It's not the same.
Okay, dude. You
Interaction.
speak your languages all fucking
I'm down to speak to animals too, man. Like if I could trade off for both, dude, I'll give away my right arm that I was talking about for that. From the wolf question, I'll give away that arm to the wolf so I can do both.
All right. What's next?
Next one would be oh wow. Would you rather have no one show up for your wedding or your funeral? Honestly,
Wedding for me.
probably wedding, because I'm not really,
Actually, I don't want anyone to be at either.
and my funeral too, I won't know. So even if I do and I'm looking at a distance, it's not like I can do anything about it. Maybe I can haunt the people for not coming, but I don't want to do that.
I'd like the wedding to be a low key event. I don't want a giant.
I don't want people to be sad when I die is the thing.
I don't want a
Funeral.
giant thing. I don't want people to know exactly when I die.
All right.
So I don't want anybody coming to my funeral either. I plan to outlive most people.
The wedding, no one shows up to your wedding. Well, then you can just be like,
What do
"All
you
right, we're
mean?
out."
Do you mean no one, or do you mean like your family and like a couple people? Because if it's a family and a couple people, that's what
What
I'd
if there's
sign
like a
up.
typo on the invitation for the wrong day?
Wrong day.
The print shop
Yeah,
fucks up the date. It's like, oh, sorry, I thought it was the 13th, not the 12th. Ruined it.
Yeah. Talk about all-time backfire.
I'd probably have to go with the funeral, because I mean, maybe I
But that
kind of like
means,
they did a
dude-
haunt. That could be fun to like mess with them for not coming to the funeral.
Yeah, but that doesn't necessarily mean that. That could mean that you had to outlive every single person you fucking know.
Okay, yeah. I
That
mean,
would be a
that's-
bummer, dude.
Yeah, dude, obviously, but that wasn't the question. I mean, that's not a parameter.
Well, we're just exploring all
I
of
know,
it, dude.
I know. But that
What's
makes it
next?
harder.
What's next?
We got
Would you rather rule the world or live in a world with absolutely no problems at all?
live in a world with no problems at all? I don't want to rule shit. I'm not a ruler.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not like that.
I feel as though my only desire to ever rule the world would to
Make no problems at all.
would to create a scenario where there were absolutely no problems, and then I would vanish into obscurity. So definitely live in a world with no problems.
Yeah, I want
at
to
all.
live in a world with no problems all day. That might be a little. You might be able to save that one for next week.
Probably.
Yeah, we'll save that one. And then, if you could travel in time, what advice would you give yourself 10 years ago? So what would I have been? 13. Fuck.
Stay off. Just kidding.
I don't know, man. I would probably, 13, I was probably just getting knee surgery. That was definitely probably like my hardest transitional point. I don't know though. I feel like 10 years ago is the reason why I'm like the way I am today.
I would say I love you. Good luck.
Yeah.
hold
maybe that.
tight. I'm sorry. This is going to suck, but it'll be worth it in 10 years.
That'd be good to say. That'd be good to say too.
You know, because
And then
yeah,
also
like,
too, believe in yourself a little more. Don't worry so much about the what ifs and like, or don't live in so much fear with your actions.
I'd say we're okay, dude.
We're okay. You're gonna be okay.
No matter what, we're okay. It's all good, and have fun, but also I'm sorry and
Not too
hold
much
on
fun.
tight. Yeah, that's what I would say to myself 10 years ago, because I have no regrets, but definitely there were some trying times in the last 10 years.
Yeah, and that's where I'm at too. Is just that it's like I can't give that up, dude, because I feel like that's
That's what made
why I
us.
am the way I
yeah,
am. And
dude.
I
That's
feel like there's people that dislike me from my old version of myself that haven't gotten to meet the new version of me yet.
sure.
Not that there's a new version of me or anything. I like you don't fucking change that much, but you definitely grow and evolve and
Well, you learn like who and how you want to be
how you want to interact with people.
Sure. Yeah, I mean there's a lot of that. So anyways, man, there's all in all, you can't have regrets,
Can't.
you know? That's what that's about.
It is what life's about. No regrets.
No,
I'm not even gonna
not even a
finish the quote.
single letter.
I'm gonna do it.
I did it.
You did it.
I
Good
did
watch
it.
for the most.
Could you?
Oh, excuse me. Yeah.
All right.
Good movie. Anyways, I think that wraps it for this week. I think this was a good episode this week. If I was doing a quick review, if I was doing a quick audit of the episode, I'd say it was all right. Yeah, I don't know.
Good week.
Good week.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying your new year. Be sure to subscribe
Or don't.
or don't. Follow us on Instagram or don't. At Web Boys Entertainment, at Socially Awkward Pod. And that is our cue.
That's the time. That is all the time we got. For those of you just tuning in, I'm Jay.
And I'm Z.
And together we are Jay-Z. Chia.
But I thought I was just.
Ho.
Philip. Beginning of the story. Come on,
It's gonna be awkward.
I don't get it. You do the math.